Okay, so we've been given a copy of the certification quote. Now this has some additional extras that the client has requested. So we have a fast track request, which is an additional $260. And then we also have a citing variation. Now, both of these items weren't on their original contract, so we just have to raise a variation for those. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Databuild. We're going to go into the job. So this particular job is 21 OWE. And then we're just going to click in our variations tab. So normally we work in main. So this is where we can actually see the contents of what was included in their original contract. And we're just going to go down to number 2, which is I'd already written in certification, but normally you would just click on this one. And you can update the variation number to match the description. So the first item that we need to click on is variations. This will bring up the sales commission. So by doing this, we can see the variation admin fee. So this is required on all variations. Then what we want to do is update the working days extension of time to the contract. Now, because we haven't actually started on site, this isn't going to affect our contract time. So we're just going to do 0 working days extension of time. Then in order to do the variation fee, we just change the price level to 1, and that will automatically put in our price excluding GST for the cost of the variation. Now we're actually going to add in the variation items. So if we type in certifier, that will bring up the correct cost center. So then we're just going to drop an item across. So this is for fast track relaxation. So I'm just going to copy that straight from the quote, and then we're going to type in the price excluding GST. Then we drop in the next item for our citing variation and update that price. This is a very simple variation with just a couple of items. That's all we needed to do on this one. So now what we need to do is we need to add GST and margin and print out a copy of the variation to put on monday.com for Mel to approve. So if you go up to the job tab, it will automatically find the first job for you. Then you just go over to contract, which is the final tab, and just click on variations. So this way you can see all of the variations, or you can just look at our certification one. Then what we do is we update the markup to 25 on all items excluding the first one. Then what we do is we view the variation report. This is where we can add any additional text. So normally what I do is we want it to add GST and show the workup so that the client can see all of the items that we've included in the variation. So then you go preview variation. So now we have the client name, the job details, variation number, and the additional items. So any text that you put in Databuild, you can't use hide notes, will appear on here. So then what we want to go is file save as a PDF, and then we just go into the construction, current jobs, 21 Owen, variation, then we add a new folder. So this is VAR2 certification. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to open up monday.com, and we can pull up our variation board. And here we have the variations currently for 21 Owen. So we're going to do VAR 2 certification. I've priced that, so just update that as person to price. Then what we're going to do is update that it's been priced in Databuild, and then we're just going to update the variation document from my computer. So this is the document that we just created. So it's in 21 Owen in the variations folder, variations, variation 2, variation. So then we have person to action. So then I just need to get the director's approval there, and then I will be able to add the variation to co-construct. Once I have done this, the person to action, when Mel's approved it, she'll just add a note to the conversation. I'll change that over to me, and I'll go into co-construct and I'll create this variation. So I'm not at that step yet. Once I've issued any purchase orders, I'll just go to done, and then everyone knows that the entire variation has been processed. So I'll be able to pick it back up and show you how to put the variation in co-construct once it's been approved.